We live much longer lives than you can begin to fathom. Yet the flesh is weak and our bodies are most fragile. We use assimilation magic to secure replacement vessels for ourselves. This magic enables our souls to live on in a new body. However, we still feared the grim specter of death with every fiber of our being. And death manifested itself in the form of fiends most vile. It was a boon, then, that a pair of heroes rose up in our defense, Wagnus and Noel. It was their endless quest for knowledge that led to the development of assimilation magic, a new source of power against increasingly dangerous threats. They gathered like-minded allies to their side and shared their knowledge. When they set out for victory, there were 7 of them. Wagnus and Noel, of course, but also Subier, Dantarg, Kazinci, Bacon, and finally Rock-Bouquet. No longer faced with the fear of death, they confronted the fiends and emerged victorious. That is how they became known as the 7 Heroes.
Your Majesty, if I'm not mistaken. It is an honor to finally meet you, Emperor of Avalon.
I must say this is quite a surprise. I'd expected a Seeress to be a touch more wizened.
It seems you do remember me. Which would make sense. Thanks to inheritance magic, you have been bequeathed the memories of Emperor Leon. There was a time when the 7 heroes embodied that moniker. They rose to action whenever fiends would set upon us. However, over time, their power continued to grow unchecked. We feared that once their battle against the fiends eventually finished, they would seek to turn that power against us instead. Before they could, however, we banished them. Though still in its nascency, we used an interdimensional transportation device to send them to a distant, unknown world. The decision weighed heavy on my heart. So heavily, in fact, that I chose to remain in this world. I always had faith in them. I knew that one day they would return. And sure enough, return they did. Over the course of many millennia, they lost their way, along with that which made them human. Now they are a horde of fiends with untold power on a quest for revenge. We ancients may be deserving of their hatred. You, however, are innocent pawns in this struggle. If you must be a part of it, you at least deserve to defend yourselves. That is why I taught Emperor Leon the art of inheritance magic. Although, there is something else that I must tell you, Your Highness. The 7 heroes you have defeated were shades of their true selves. While they must indeed rest in order to recover their strength, I assure you they are very much alive. As long as their actual bodies remain safely hidden, the 7 heroes will continue to stave off death's embrace. Should it so happen that 6 of them fall in battle, the one who remains will be tasked with protecting all of their bodies. Thus states their blood oath, an irrevocable pact that exists between them. As such, the final hero will make for where their corporeal forms are gathered. The true battle is to take place there. In order to free the world from the threat posed by the 7 heroes, you must successfully destroy their corporeal forms. Your Grace, there is one rather significant problem. It concerns the limits of inheritance magic. I fear that upon Kazinski's return, whoever is the current Emperor will also be the last.
Orieve, why do you not blame me for all that has transpired?
If I did, would that truly bring you peace?
No. Peace is something I will never know again. I have committed unspeakable sins.
You did not falsely accuse Wagnus of slaying His Majesty. Nor were you the one who tied Wagnus to that stake and lured the heroes to Alabacon. Yes, you did indeed help banish them to another dimension. But not of your own volition, only because the true culprit, my father, had you firmly under his thumb. You are not to blame. That lies solely with him. And as his daughter, I apologize.
But Noel, he was my closest friend in all the world, and I sent him away with the rest. My hands are stained with his blood. The blood of the man who would have given his life for me!
No, they are not, for Noel still lives. Whatever perils exist in the Netherrealms, I am confident that he will overcome them. He is not one to easily succumb to either despair or madness. And he will return.
Orieve, you are aware more than anyone else of the threat posed by the impending calamity. The sun's warmth will no longer reach us, and the world will be covered in ice. Even if the 7 heroes could return, to what sort of world would they be returning?
Regardless, I choose to place my faith in him. That very faith will lead Noel back to us once more. Of that, I am certain.
Orieve, am I to understand that you intend to remain here, waiting for him to return? That would be tantamount to suicide. There is no guarantee he will ever come back.
Do you remember, back when we were children, that time I managed to get lost in the mountains? I took shelter in a cave, and made do with whatever modicum of food and water I could cobble together. And when the howling of ravenous beasts echoed off the walls, I wanted to run away. But I stood my ground. I stayed right there in that cave, all the while holding fast to my faith. Faith that without fail, Noel would come and rescue me. And that he did, when I came to and my eyes opened at last. He was standing over me, brushing the sweat from my brow. I have sat cowering in the dark once before, and that was enough.
Stop!
What is it, Saxar?
Forgive me, Orieve. When we exiled the 7 heroes, the energy of the device was immeasurable. It bathed the entire hill in an eldritch light, the likes of which I had never seen. And ever since, light of any kind sends shivers down my spine. The light shows me their visages, contorted as they spout rage and hatred. But Noel alone was silent and staring right through me. I can no longer bear to be in the sun. Its presence is simply too oppressive for me. Perhaps I best spend what time remains to me deep within the bowels of the earth. Else that time will be cut shorter.
Saxar. Oh, Saxar.
Orieve, please, I pray that you at least can walk with the light. Find light in a new world. Light that Noel and I shall never see again.